Yo, guys, this is Adrian Yanez telling you to use those handles. Hit, click, like, and subscribe. Fuck yeah, dudes. If y'all don't do it, man, fucking catch the hands, bro.
So we have Pablito, Cody Verret over here in the house. Welcome to the Fight Week show, Pablito, man. It's a great honor to have you on our show. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Of course, man. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. For people that don't know Pablito, Pablito is the training is a training partner for Dustin Poirier. Does his business at the ATT gym, American top team, and we know the amount of people that's passed through there, big names that's passed through there, and it's just an honor to be in your presence. We know you're from Louisiana, and some big names out of your town as well, Lafayette, Louisiana. We got DC, we got Dustin, even Tunchi, Lil Wayne. You know, is from your neck of the woods. Um, so how you been finding life? How is Louisiana? How is Lafayette? How's it treating you right now?
I love it, man. I love living in Lafayette. Everything's close. All my friends and family, the people I grew up with are around here. And like you said, we have a strong culture. We have a ton of guys that make it out of Louisiana, not just in our sport, but I want to say we have the highest percentage of professional athletes per capita in any state in America.
Raw.
Yeah, so there's definitely something different in the water here.
It definitely is. I mean, having Hall of Famers coming out of that town alone is it's ridiculous. And it's something for a lot of these other states and people to you know to emulate, if you like. Um, that Louisiana culture. Do you feel it breeds competition? Like, is everybody competitive against everybody? Or does everybody come together? How does it go down there?
No, I think absolutely it's something that growing up, and I'm sure a lot of places, you grow up competing in different things. But there's something about Louisiana. You hear guys say that he's got a dog in him. There's something in Louisiana that brings that out, and you see guys that make it, whether it's in MMA or in football or in basketball. They make it from Louisiana. They have a different kind of aggression and attitude towards competing.
Mhm. So, talking about like your upbringing, because we know how close you are to your dad, um, is a big influence in you getting into the sport. Am I right?
Yeah,
Can you
no,
tell us can you tell us a bit more about that?
yeah. So growing up, my dad, whenever he was younger, he did some amateur boxing, but always kept it in the house. That was a staple for us on Saturday nights. We were watching whenever boxing was on, and growing from there, boxing we've seen kind of is dying out from the mainstream, but UFC grew, and MMA and all. My dad kind of shifted his focus towards that. So growing up, combat sports were a big staple in my house, and then eventually I was like, I don't just want to watch it; I want to actually compete in this.
Yeah, I mean, look, as a father myself, because over here in the UK, even though we love combat sports, we love MMA, and there's a lot of MMA fighters that's come out of UK as well. But there's also football, but not your kind of American football is
Hmm.
what you guys relate to as soccer. But we love football over here in the UK, and it's something that. Uh, that's passionate to me, and I try to get my kids involved in, so I can definitely relate to your dad being an influence on on what you do, as a youngster. In terms of being like a day-to-day person, even though you rub shoulders with some of the biggest names in the sport, from because of where you're from and your background and everything in fighting, you still work you work as a bouncer, um outside clubs and stuff, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I still do have regular jobs. I just recently stopped bouncing though. Thank God.
Right.
Yeah, it got a
Tough
little.
old job, right?
Yeah, it is. Man, I got more street fights than I have sanctioned fights before.
So look, MMA Twitter knows you as a great Pablito, right? And we love your energy. We love your warrior spirit that you show all the time. We wanted to know, when did you know you really, wanted to take this thing up, well, going into the amateur career and potentially getting into pro fighting?
I think at a young age, growing up, being around the combat sports scene, my dad actually took me to a pro boxing match to watch Bad Chad Broussard, who he's from Rain, Louisiana, which is about 30 minutes away from where I grew up.
Mm.
You can look up Bad Chad. He was a legit pro. Held belts. I'm not exactly sure which organizations, but my dad took me to go and watch Bad Chad. And I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, and I remember thinking, watching that, I was like, dude, this is something that, I didn't know. I was too young to understand to what capacity, but I knew that I was drawn to combat in some kind of way.
That's crazy, man. I mean, at such a young age to be drawn into combat sports, like it's not the easiest profession to jump into because of the sacrifices that you guys made. The sacrifices, missing birthdays and missing anniversaries and some other landmarks within the family. You guys miss all of that. So it's probably one of the most the toughest job I can think of, anyways. Speaking of the great Pablito, how did you come by that nickname? How did you come by that nickname?
Man, Dustin came up with it. I don't know where he got it from, really. I know it means.
Dustin came up with it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know it means Little Pablo, kind of in reference to Pablo Escobar. I think whenever I first cut my hair and kind of did the mustache, I looked a little more like Escobar. And Dustin just said it one day in a Twitter video, and, I've pretty much only gotten Pablito ever since.
Damn. Okay, well, Dustin did it, and it's stuck. It's still stuck to right now, and you're carrying the torch, you're carrying the fire. So that's good. Training the way you guys do, because sometimes you have like easy day sparring, you have some tough sparring, you have hard sparring. How has it made you a calmer person? Has it in what way has it helped kind of like your personality, if you like?
No, that's a good question, because a lot of times especially working like I was working the club scene, there were a ton of situations where your character's kind of put to the test, and being in the position that I am, being that I've probably thrown more punches than any regular guy that you see out on the street, and I've probably been punched more times than most regular guys. I've been punched more times than most people, fighter or not, actually. But so it's tough. It kind of puts you in a two-way position where you could either say, okay, I'm the better guy. I know that I don't have anything to prove. I know that I'm a martial artist at heart, and I know that I have to carry a certain responsibility with what comes with this craft. But then there's another side of you that wants to say, how about I just show you, how many punches I have thrown. So, there's been times where I've taken the wrong path for sure, and there's been a million times where I've taken the high ground and walked away from stuff.
So you just mentioned there that you've probably been hit so many times, more than maybe in actual fight. But what's the hardest you've ever been hit? And would you say, check this out, would you say you deserved it?
Yeah. Okay, hardest I've ever been hit, like in a gym situation or outside of the gym?
In any situation. All right, let's go outside the gym. Maybe that would say whether you deserved it or not.
Yeah, no, outside of the gym, we actually had a situation in one of the clubs I was working in. A guy had too much to drink. He was banging on the wall near the girls' bathroom door. Somebody asked me to calm him down, and I grabbed another security worker with me.
Right.
Got him to approach the guy. They start talking, whatever. I could see it was escalating. They start fighting. I go to hit the guy, and I get hit by his buddy.
Oh,
and
shit.
Actually put me out, and 4 or 5 guys stomped on me until I woke up getting a CAT scan. So that was, it's funny. I
didn't deserve that one.
No, I didn't think so. But I think it's funny now. Obviously, my mom and my girlfriend don't think it's as funny.
Mm.
But in the gym, I got cracked really good one time by a pro, an up and coming pro who's actually 1-0. He
Mm.
just made his pro debut, Rylan Melanson. I remember Rylan cracking me really good one time, and then not too long ago, I actually clashed heads with a newer guy. It wasn't a punch, but we both kind of rolled at the same time, and our heads just met, and I felt that one.
Yeah, head clashes are one of the most brutal things that you could see in any facet of fighting. We see it all the time during live fights, and it's crazy. The risk that you guys put yourself through. What advice would you give for other amateur fighters who may want to rush into a pro career, since obviously you've demonstrated that you're willing to take your time to build up your pro career? You know what I mean? You're leading by example. You're a walking example of that sort of situation. What advice would you give to those sort of up and coming amateur fighters?
Don't worry so much about your amateur record. Don't let Dustin actually after losing my last fight told me, in this game you can never be too high or never be too low. That's kind of stuck with me in the situation. Whereas I beat guys really decisively, look great, and I maybe took that too highly and was able to go back to the gym and kind of let off the gas and think like, oh, I'm really good. I'm where I want to be, and then that'll end up costing you. Whereas also if you go out there and get your ass kicked, you can't get too low. You can't let that discourage you. You just got to get back in the gym and stay consistent.
Right. So that's our advice there from the great Pablito to all your amateur fighters and everybody that want to get into the fight game. That's a gem right there coming directly from Pablito. Um, what's your style, or what? Let me phrase this properly. What do you prefer, striking or grappling?
I'd say right now probably striking. There are times where I go through phases. Sometimes I guess with anything you kind of get bored at even a regular job.
Hmm.
Regardless of what you're doing, you're going to get bored at certain aspects of it, and maybe you'll find interest in other parts. And I think over time, um, like there will be a whole month where I'm like, I can't wait to spar, can't wait to put on big gloves, kickbox, can't wait to do boxing work. And then there's some days where I can't wait to roll, I can't wait to wrestle. It just kind of depends. Lately I've been working on a lot more boxing, but depending on what I'm feeling like that day, just kind of
Yeah.
depends what I want to do.
Okay. Have you tried any other weight classes apart from the bantamweight or featherweight sort of division? Have you tried to to go up in classes?
So I fought at bantamweight my first couple fights, and then I'm a shorter bantamweight. I'm
Right.
not really big. Then I had a few guys where I had to meet them at higher weight classes because they couldn't get down. And then I fought at 35 last May, and
Okay.
after that, my plan was to go down to 25. But
Okay.
then, in January, they called me on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and the fights were on Friday. They needed a guy who could make 45, and I did it. But not something I plan on doing again. I think from here on out, all my fights will be at 125.
Yeah, well, it seems like 125 is calling your name. What 125 got your name written all over it, and you got a wider build as well for that division, and I think you can take care of a lot of business in that division right there. So we're definitely going to keep our eyes peeled for that, for what you have lined up in the future. Um, how has training with Dustin Poirier um, shaped you as a fighter? How would you say it shaped you as a fighter training with Dustin?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways it just kind of shows the discipline. There are things that I pick up on that he does. A lot of times it's the small things, but you can tell those are the things that really do set him apart. I watch the ways that he jumps a rope. I watch the ways that he shadow boxes. I watch how he stretches. And I just take those little things and I try to apply them and eventually over time model my discipline over his. Other than that, the mentality and the way that he treats other people around him. I've never seen Dustin say no to taking a picture or talking to somebody. He's always got other people's intentions in mind over his.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Big fan of him, and watching his fight against Conor McGregor the last time, um, and with all the disrespect that came with it, and this is that goes to what you're saying. He was so calm with it. He was so cool with it. He didn't. It was just like water off the duck's back when
Mhm.
when you look at the way that he handled that situation. And yeah, definitely a model professional right there. Um, what's the most surprising thing uh, that you could tell us about your training partner that maybe a lot of people might not know, or something that we don't know, as fans and viewers? What's the most surprising thing?
Man, probably Dustin's one of the funniest people I know. He doesn't show it a lot, because I think he's really humble and tries to focus on taking the spotlight off himself as much as he can. Uh, but I mean, I feel like if you gave that dude a camera and a mic for long enough, he could do a full comedy special. He's funny.
Okay, we know. Just as you said, he's a very genuine person, but would that how would that affect your approach? Do you think you're gonna go into the spotlight when you get there as yourself, or you think you may be in character, and you're gonna be keeping the mullet, right? You keep
Yeah,
the mullet, we're right behind you.
for sure.
So
I have no intention of cutting the mullet, and I have no intentions of changing.
okay,
As it is now, I post my regular day work just as much as I post myself, training with world class athletes. I don't hide anything, and I don't think I duck any criticism or judgment. I'm me, and if anybody doesn't like it, it's cool. It's whatever.
that's what we love around here, man. That's what we love around here. Um, so when do you feel you'd be making an approach towards your pro debut? Is it around the corner?
I really don't know, man. That's something that I kind of think about as a when it's here, I'll know it kind of scenario. I think that if I just keep training, keep my head down, keep fighting, keep competing,
Mhm.
uh, before I know it, I'll be a pro, and I'll be ready to make that decision.
Yeah, man, that's great. Um, if you got the call tomorrow, hypothetically, um, to fight for the UFC, would you wait it? Would you take it, or would you wait until you feel like you're ready to go? Is it something that you wait out, or?
What are they paying me? That's a
So
man.
you're saying show me the money, right?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm not doing. I know they sign a lot of guys on 12 and 12. I'm not doing that. But
Mhm.
if they call me with something cool, then hell yeah.
Okay, well, as a fan of this sport myself, you obviously just sounded that you'd love the opportunity if the money was right, for from the UFC. Um, the other thing that I wanted to ask you is some of the coaches that that you've been around, the coaches that work with you in the gym. Some people like Dan Lambert and those guys. Would you say what's the biggest influences on you? And would you say you maybe later on down the line you give back to the sport like what they did with you?
Yeah, I don't know if I think I'm too young to think that far ahead and think that coaching would be my thing. I've
Mhm.
taught kids classes before.
Right, right.
And I've enjoyed it, but there was something in me that I was like, it almost kind of took away from my training, and I was putting taking care of the kids' classes a little bit more before I was putting my own workouts and things like that. Um, I don't know. It depends how my career went and what I was doing outside of fighting. Once that day came.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, start to wind down on the time. Thank you very much for your time. We know your time is so valuable, and I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. We really appreciate you being here. Um, can you tell us anything that you're currently promoting, like merch or upcoming fight, or anything else that you'd like to say to our viewers?
I was supposed to be doing a sub only grappling tournament, but it actually got moved to September 3rd. It was supposed to be this weekend. It got pushed back.
Right.
So for anybody, I think I had posted a couple times I was gonna be doing that. But I do have a YouTube link for it. Once it gets a little bit closer to that date, I'll make sure to post that and let everybody know. But it will be live streamed, so I hope everybody tunes in.
Oh yeah. If you can get that link to live stream, it will definitely be on there, tuning in and supporting you. And hopefully down the line, maybe you shooting my shot here. Maybe you could get the hot sauce king himself to bless us with a nice little 20-25 minutes, if you can pass on the good word. If that's all right with you. And maybe down the line as well, we would love to have you back. Maybe after your fight, whenever you're ready, we'll all, we would love to have you back on the show as well, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, we've come to the end of the show, and thank you to everybody that's joined us, everybody that's watched, everybody that's put comments in. Thank you very much. This is Pablito. He's been very, very generous with us for this time, and we're going to be supporting him, we're going to be watching him, and then when his fight goes up, we're going to be rooting for you, and we're going to be backing you as long as that mullet stays, and he's promised us the mullet staying
forever.
Okay. One more thing before you go. Could I ask you to tell the audience that you're on the Fight Week show and put your own Pablito spin on it for them to like, subscribe, share, all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like my boy said, guys, this has been the Fight Week show with the main man, Pablito himself. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor, go like, subscribe, share, comment, everything. Do whatever you can to support the boys.
Thank you very much, Pablito, man. You're a good sport. Thank you very, very much. And we're going to be following you on Twitter. You can see his Twitter ID on there at Verret Cody. His IG, Cody_Verret. Go and follow Pablito on Insta and on Twitter. Thank you very much, guys. And we out. Salute.
Hey guys, this is John Anik from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week show. Please subscribe. Not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.